What if you woke up tomorrow and found the ants in your kitchen were the size of pit bulls? What if bees were as big as basketballs and hornets could break windows? No, this isn't a scene from a horror movie. This is a scientifically grounded what-if scenario. Today we're going deep into the terrifying and fascinating reality of what could happen if insects grew as big as dogs. Spoiler alert, humanity may not survive this. Imagine waking up to a world where your everyday life is overturned by gigantic insects. A wide shot reveals a suburban neighborhood filled with panic as people flee from swarms of enormous ants, while a giant hornet crashes through a window, adding to the chaos. In a laboratory, a scientist observes this unbelievable scene, taking notes as a massive bee hovers ominously nearby, its sheer size making regular lab equipment look tiny in comparison. Insects have existed for over 400 million years, far longer than humans. And at one point in Earth's history, they were giant. During the Carboniferous period, the atmosphere had 35% oxygen, compared to our 21% today. That allowed dragonflies with wingspans over 70 centimeters to dominate the skies. But could it happen again? Could some evolutionary twist, or genetic experiment, bring giant bugs back? In a world driven by scientific advancement, researchers are pondering the possibilities of resurrecting these colossal creatures. With breakthroughs in genetic engineering and cloning techniques, the dream of creating modern-day giants is becoming a reality. Imagine a park where children play under the shadow of a massive dragonfly, or crops pollinated by oversized beetles transforming our ecosystem in ways we can barely conceive. Here's the thing, insects breathe through spiracles, tiny holes in their exoskeletons that diffuse oxygen. As they grow bigger, their oxygen diffusion becomes less efficient, limiting their size. Their exoskeletons are strong but not structurally stable on a large scale. If an ant were dog-sized, it might collapse under its own weight, unless Earth's gravity changed or the atmosphere was once again rich in oxygen. But with a few evolutionary upgrades, it could happen, especially in an environment where humans aren't the dominant force anymore. Picture a world where insects could adapt and thrive, overcoming their biological limitations. Imagine enormous ants, scuttling beneath towering ferns, their spiracles perfectly evolving to meet the demands of their newfound size. This new ecosystem teems with life where every creature has adapted to maximize its survival. In this realm, a shift in gravity and atmospheric conditions ignites a radical transformation, leading to a vibrant proliferation of colossal insects. Imagine a world 300 million years ago where giants roamed the land and the skies were ruled by colossal insects. In this age, the air was thick with oxygen, allowing creatures like Megafauna, a massive dragonfly, to soar with unmatched grace, while on the ground, monsters like Arthropleura, an enormous millipede, made their way through a flourishing ecosystem. As you peer into this primordial scene, the enchanting sound of the rustling leaves and the distant hum of insect wings fills the air, painting a picture of a thriving ecosystem. The river sparkles under the sun as massive insects dart by, showcasing a once unimaginable diversity of life that held dominion over the land. As the sun sets, the vibrant colors paint the sky while the shadows of enormous insects stretch across the landscape, reminding us of their reign. This ancient jungle, alive with activity, reveals a delicate balance where giant insects thrive amidst the lush vegetation, suggesting a world both magnificent and terrifying, where life flourished in ways we can only begin to imagine. If bugs were the size of dogs, we would be in trouble. Ants could lift 50 times their weight. That's like a creature flipping cars with ease. Mosquitoes could pierce skin like spears. Wasps would be flying nightmares. Swarms of locusts could wipe out crops faster than ever. Ecosystems would collapse. Urban infrastructure would fall apart. Humanity would be on the defensive for the first time in millennia. The streets are in chaos as giant insects invade, sending citizens fleeing in every direction. Above, a vast swarm of locusts darkens the sky, descending onto fields, consuming crops at an alarming rate. Inside high-tech laboratories, scientists watch in horror and fascination as giant insects roam freely. In fortified urban shelters, people peer cautiously through barricaded windows, witnessing the terrifying spectacle of enormous wasps buzzing ominously outside. Global ecological change is upon us, leading to the collapse of ecosystems as birds and small mammals find themselves unable to compete for survival. In certain regions, pollination will flourish yet vanish entirely, in others creating an imbalance that paves the way for giant insects to dominate the food chains. As the environment struggles to adapt, a vast desolate landscape emerges with giant insects overshadowing the natural order and smaller creatures pushed to the brink. Inside high-tech underground farms, scientists work diligently utilizing advanced technology to ensure that humanity can still grow food amidst the chaos above. What if we train them? Could we use their size to our advantage? Giant beetles for transport spiders trained to weave super-strong web cables. Maybe, but controlling insect behavior is nearly impossible. Their brains aren't wired for obedience. Still, with bioengineering or AI insect hybrids, it's not entirely science fiction. Imagine a world where scientists harness the potential of these creatures. A close-up of a dedicated scientist analyzing a giant beetle's behavior reveals the advanced research taking place. Meanwhile, a mesmerizing scene shows robotic spiders weaving flawless webs guided by sophisticated AI algorithms. If insects were the size of dogs, they wouldn't just survive, they might dominate. And humanity, we'd either adapt or become prey. This future may seem far-fetched, but remember, nature already tried it once. The question is, what if it tries again? As these colossal creatures roam freely, cities must reshape themselves into fortresses. Scientists gather brainstorming survival tactics and new technologies to keep humanity safe from their once tiny counterparts. With each passing day, humanity faces the dilemma: evolve or perish, in a world where the balance of power shifts dramatically.